father's suing me.
I promise. I see you've got Calvin Coolidge up already.
I do.
Is he your hero, Uncle Jonathan?
Never had a hero, but he was the best president we ever elected. Kept his mouth shut and minded his own business.
Aren't mother and father stubborn, though?
They're pretty stubborn, all right. Ain't no more stubborn than I am, though. Fine morning, Sarah.
Oh, yes.
September's the best month God will give us.
Did you have a pleasant night, dear?
Huh?
Did you have a pleasant night?
Of course not.
Oh, did you have to count sheep again?
I don't count sheep anymore. I count Rockwoods.
Oh,
That son of theirs. Upstairs, a nice warm bed. A room of his own, and me. I have to.
you don't have to. Matt is perfectly willing to sleep down here.
Well, you'd have to be in bed by 9 o'clock. The lights would have to be out.
Well, Barbara can move down here, and that would make a place in Paula's room. Sarah can move out of my room, and you can move in with me where you belong.
How's that?
Let's see, how did I get that? Barbara can move down here.
You can
and
stop right there. Barbara stays in a room with a door on it. As long as that Matt's around.
Oh, Matt's all right.
I don't trust him.
You know, either Matt's reputation was greatly exaggerated, or he's turned over a new leaf. Why, he doesn't even go out on Saturday nights anymore. I think he's really settled down.
Settled down is right. Right here in this chair. For weeks, for months, he's just been sitting here, watching me. Could you write with somebody just watching you? Watching you!
Why in heaven's name don't you ask him to sit someplace else?
Because I'm not speaking to him.
Oh, Herbert, you can't go on like this, not speaking to them, hating them every second. No wonder you can't write.
Let's not discuss it, shall we?
Oh, I know it's unpleasant having them here. I don't like it either. But what can we do? We have thousands of dollars tied up in this place. We couldn't afford to leave it, even if we wanted to.
Yeah, listen, Marge. Maybe we can sell it.
To whom? Who would buy it with the Rockwoods attached to it?
You're right. I can only think of one person.
Even if we could sell it, there's no place else to live in Connecticut. Darling, would you mind if Barbara took me to town to buy some food for lunch?
Marge, listen. Why don't you and Barbara do a whole week's marketing at once?
I try to, honestly I do.
Well, there's never anything to eat in this house.
Well, that's not my fault.
My mother always had something to eat in the house.
Your mother had a telephone and an A&P right around the corner, and she only had one child, and that is why he is so spoiled.
Marge, I'm sorry. Maybe you could buy cases of things.
You can't buy cases of things. But I'll try. I promise I will. Daddy, Mother! Come see Uncle Jonathan's beautiful.
Would you stop calling that man Uncle Jonathan?
Robert, will you please refrain from yelling? Aunt Matilda says the yelling shows people's ignorance.
Aunt Matilda, you stay away from them.
But Daddy...
Do you hear me or I'll have to put you over my knee?
Oh, Herbert, don't. Come see Mr. Rockwood's beautiful what? What has he, Sarah?
A cow! A man's just brought it for him. He kept it for Uncle Mr. Rockwood. Well, he was out west. He would have brought it sooner, but it hasn't been at all well. Do you want to see it?
And where is this beautiful sick cow, Mr. Rockwood?
He's milking it. Can you milk, Daddy?
Of course.
I can't.
It's easy. Simply sit next to the cow, like this. Down at the tail end, and well, you reach up under there, and there are these 4 little faucets. Wait, you squeeze, you milk. another son. Horse, chickens, and now a cow. Soon we'll have pigs running around the house.
Oh, haven't you seen his pigs?
There, what did I tell you? And have you seen their room lately? That wooden sink and that ancient cook stove.
I know.
Since daybreak, he's been clumping in and out of here. With bushels of potatoes. In and out, up and down, down and up.
Well, we had to let them grow their own food. We couldn't let them starve.
Yes, but did he have to plant his garden right in the middle of my $200 lawn?
Well, that is where you should have planted yours.
What?
Well, nothing grew in your garden.
My cucumbers. My cucumbers were terrific.
Yes, of course. And I'm very proud of my 5 kinds of sweet and sour chow chow.
Well, 3 pints. 2 pints blew up.
Did she give a lot of milk, Uncle Jonathan?
Yep, she done pretty good. Matilda will be tickled. Won't have enough milk to churn for a day or 2, though. It'll take at least that long to get this thing back in shape.
Rockwood, I want to talk to you.
Yes, I can spare a minute.
I understand you have a cow.
That's right. Always have a cow. Always will have.
Well, you can't keep it here, and that's final.
But I darn near didn't have a cow. Almost burned to death. Some feller pulled out of the Lambert's barn. Just in time. Got to tend to my milk. Matilda ain't up to it.
Is she sick, Uncle Jonathan?
It's her hip, Sarah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She fell on them stairs there.
She did? Really?
Yep. Them stairs was always treacherous. They're even more so with that red carpet on them.
Oh, may I watch you?
Yeah, come on.
Marge, did you hear that? About his wife falling in those steps? Well, did you?
Yes, I did.
Well, don't you see? He's gonna sue us.
Do you think so?
Oh, I know he's eating mine. So casually informed us about that hip. How easily? The bang, a lawsuit.
Oh, that would be dreadful.
This is the one time they're not gonna get the best of us. What time is it?
It's not yet 8.
Oh, good. You still have time to catch Loomis before he reaches the office. Marge, go get the car and do that. While I get changed.
Of course. Could you clean up so that when Mr. Loomis...
Sure.
Good morning, Dad. Hi, Dad.
Oh, hello there.
Oh, here. Let me do that.
Thank you. Get this cleaned up before Matt sees it.
Where's Sarah? She's in there with the Rockwoods. She's always in there. Lost a lot of respect for Sarah. Selling her soul for a ride on a horse. Paula. And what are you doing, my dear?
Churning, my dear.
There's the milk, Paula. Go get it. Fine then. You! I thought you'd be on your way to town to start your new job.
I decided not to take that job.
Oh no, why? Gotta do something. If you don't,
That job behind the counter,
wasn't it enough money?
it ain't the money. It's the principle of the thing. I'd be on my feet all day.
Matt, what kind of job do you want?
Oh, I ain't particular. Anything just shows it keeps me busy.
What about the job in Denver?
Couldn't get that job. They wanted my social security card, and I ain't got none.
Didn't you ever have one?
Nope. Social security ain't good for a man. Ruins his initiative. Besides, I don't think I could get one. Us Rockwoods, we don't look for no favors from Washington.
Matt, now you listen to me. Father is nearly a nervous wreck. One of the reasons is you. Things are hectic enough around here without you sitting around in that chair all day. Gotta get a job. We've got to find something. Paula, any mail for me?
Nope, sorry. Not even from George.
Haven't had a letter now for 2 days.
Oh, that reminds me. You left your engagement ring up in the bathroom.
Oh, thank you. Certainly is nerve-wracking for a girl not knowing if she's getting married next week, or next month, or not till the end of term.
I was afraid somebody might steal it.
Oh, Matt, who would steal it?
As many people as there are in this house, there might be one dishonest one among them.
If only you fell in love, and got married. That's what you need. Someone to work for.
I don't know, but I just love to see the look on your father's face if I were home alive.
Oh, but you wouldn't. That's the point. You get a job, you buy a home of your own.
Barbara, who are you talking to?
Matt, father?
Thought so.
Goodness sakes.
Why are you always talking to that boy? What's so fascinating about him?
I think he's kind of cute.
You and your mother. She doesn't see anything wrong with him either.
Because there isn't anything wrong with him. Except he hasn't any ambition.
Oh, yes, he has. I've heard all about his ambitions.
For goodness sake.
You stay away from him. Barbara, has Matt ever, well, has he ever,
Asked for a date or anything?
well, has he?
No. I guess I'm not his type. Listen, Dad, please don't be silly about Matt. He lives here, someone to talk to, that's all.
Oh, good. Here's your mother with Loomis.
Loomis?
Oh, business, just business. Baby, will you do something about breakfast?
Oh, certainly.
Morning, Gage.
Good morning, Loomis. How are you?
Fine.
Now, here's the situation.
No need explaining the situation again. Mrs. Gage has already explained it to me. I've got to get to the office. Where's Rockwood?
Well, he's in there. Now, what's the procedure in a case like this? Do we have a
I
doctor?
will handle this, Gage, if you'll just call Rockwood.
Okay.
Yeah? You want to see me? I see you got your lawyer.
Mr. Rockwood, I understand your wife fell down those stairs and hurt her hip.
Yep, she did. Caught her heel on the top step, and down she come all the way to the bottom.
You had a doctor, of course.
Don't hold with doctors.
Well, under these peculiar circumstances, wouldn't you feel easier if your wife were examined by a first-class physician?
Don't hold with physicians either.
Not even if Mr. Gage is willing to pay the bill.
Nope. Wouldn't be part of anybody paying good money to a doctor or a physician.
Well, I think the Gages might be willing to do something for you.
They want to do something?
Yes, I think they may.
Well now, I can start by getting rid of that tarnation pink carpet off them steps.
That is not a tarnation pink carpet, and I won't have you!
Better get it off there before somebody else falls down them stairs.
It's perfectly safe!
Catches my heel every time.
Oh, that's ridiculous!
Now, Marge.
Yes, Mrs. Gage. Be reasonable. Under the circumstances, she will be able to remove it, won't you? Mrs.
Of
Gage?
course she will.
I'd be obliged to you, Mrs. Gage. And then there's that infernal contraption over here.
My radio!
I ain't heard nothing come out of it worth listening to.
By the nerve of you with that awful piano you've got.
Gage,
But the news! How will I ever know what's going on?
Uncle Walter will tell you.
What?
Anything important happens, Uncle Walter always hears about it. He comes and tells me, and I will tell you.
Oh no, that radio stays.
Disturbs Matilda. Can't get her proper rest.
Mr. Rockwood, I'm sure that Mr. Gage, under the circumstances,
would be willing to give up his radio. Won't you, Herbert?
Yes, Mr. Gage, under the circumstances.
Yep. And then there's something else.
And what might that be?
My privet.
Oh no, I draw the line there.
Yes, with modern improvements to this house, there's no further use for your privet, excuse me, for for outside plumbing.
Hold on. Who's to say there's no use for outside plumbing?
Is there?
You better believe there is. I don't hold with inside plumbing.
But you've been using our bathroom for 3 months.
Yep, I have. But I ain't been happy over there.
What do you propose to do?
Well, I propose to put the new one right where the old one was.
That's the front of the house now.
Yep.
Rockwood, you can't. I won't allow you to.
Nope. Deal the deal.
Is that the extent of your demands?
I'll settle for what we said, if that's what you mean.
All right, I'll get this all done in writing.
Time enough for that later, when you do all the things you promised you would.
Tim's out front with the folding chairs.
That's so. Have them handed off the wagon to you.
All right.
Folding chairs, what are they for?
Funeral.
Funeral? Did somebody die?
Young Charlie Freeman. Only 75.
No, that's too bad. Please, give my condolences to Charlie's wife.
You're thinking of old Charlie. Young Charlie never married. Quite a shock, old Charlie, losing his boy like that.
Louis, does he have the right to hold a funeral here? In our living room?
Frankly, Gage, I don't know. This is sure a case without precedent.
Rockwood, why do you have to hold it here, in our living room?
Plenty of room. Expecting quite a crowd.
Why don't you have it at the church?
Old Charlie quit the church when Reverend Smalley put electricity in it. He said if the good Lord had wanted electricity in his churches, he would have invented it himself.
But there's lights here.
This ain't a house of the Lord. Far from it.
What are we gonna do?
Well, we can have breakfast. We can't.
How about we go out someplace for the day?
No. They might decide to bury young Charlie here.
Morning, Sarah. Morning, Matilda. You ain't practiced the piano yet today. Oh, I'll join it, Matilda, as soon as I've done my chores. I haven't even finished Shadrach yet. Oh. Why, it's nice having you play the piano, since I ain't up to playing it no more. I enjoy it, Aunt Matilda.
Matilda, feeling some better?
Some. Can't miss the services.
John, I told everybody about the funeral. They all said they come. Good.
Are you sure you told everyone, Uncle Walter?
Yep, told everybody. Last, I forgot to tell them who it was. Bet a lot of folks would be surprised. I got some good news for you, Matilda.
Well, it seemed to me you were mighty chipper.
Mr. Gage made a little deal with me.
What sort of a deal?
There's gonna be some changes around here.
Such as?
They're gonna get rid of that infernal contraption, the radio, that interferes with your rest.
Well, I don't mind it that much. Except for them talking parts.
And they're gonna get rid of that tarnation pink carpet off them steps.
Oh, well, it's kind of nice walking up the stairs. That's on the feet.
Oh, won't be any need for going upstairs no more. Even their old lawyer says we got ourselves to build the right to build a privet. Yeah, the right to build a privet.
Say it so.
Yeah. Thought you'd be pleased.
Well, times are changing, Jonathan. Kind of have to change with them.
I suspected it all along. You like their indoor plumbing.
Well, I was thinking, Jonathan, takes a funeral to get to see your old friends. Haven't seen young Charlie in 20 years.
22 years.
No, Jonathan, it was 20 years. He was here the day I fell down them stairs and hurt my head. 20 years ago.
I don't know about you, but I feel really bad for Mr. Gage and all the trouble he's having getting his book finished. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't we all work together to give him some inspiration for a few good storylines? I'll write a mystery story, and you can help me fill in some of the details. So, I guess the first thing we need is a main character. So, Mr. Marcella, could you pick someone sitting near you to be our main character?
How about Anna Williams?
Anna. That'll work for me. Alright. Next, Maeve, can you find me a person with an animal?
A hungry bear.
Hungry bear. That'll work perfect for the mystery story. Next, we need an exclamation. Kelton, could you please give me an exclamation? Thanks, Kelton. Mr. Van Wingerden. Okay. Next, Maeve, could you find me a person with a weapon?
A knife.
Knife. That'll work great. Thank you. Next, we need a question. Kelton, can you give me a question?
What did you say?
I said, can you give me a question?
How's the milk churning?
Okay, that'll work. Next, Maeve, could you find me a household object?
An ironing board.
Ironing board. Does Mrs. Carr still make you iron? Alright, well, I think we've got our story. Let's read it. You see, it was a dark and stormy night, and suddenly there was a knock at the door. And Bob opened the door to see the ugly and scary Anna. They had a face that could scare a bear. Bob didn't know what to do, and in panic he screamed, "Holy cannoli!" Anna chased after Bob, pulling a large knife from under their coat. Bob grabbed the phone, dialing the police, and asked the operator, "How's the milk churning?" Lightning flashed and thunder boomed as Bob grabbed an ironing board to protect himself. Suddenly, with no warning, oh, well, I guess we'll have to finish this another day. Thanks for your help, and especially thanks to Anna for being so, scary.
Boy, do you mind if I ask you a question? For weeks, for months,
all summer, all fall, and half of the winter so far. You've been sitting in that chair, just watching me. Matt, oh boy, what do you find so fascinating about me?
Fascinating.
Yes. Do I remind you of someone you're trying to think of who, or the typewriter? Do you like the click, click, click of the busy little keys?
I don't enjoy that especially.
Stand up.
What?
Stand up. Sit down.
You should have done that last summer.
Darling, it's freezing in this house. It's dropped 10 degrees since lunch.
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Can't we have a little more heat?
Marge, please stop going around feeling the radiators.
It's the only way to keep them as warm as they are. Oh, Matt. Darling, we've simply got to have more heat. We're not living in a New York stuffy apartment. You can't just pound on the radiator and presto, the superintendent turns up the heat. Herbert, you're our super.
Kindly do not refer to me as the super.
Well, you are, and it's up to you to keep us from freezing to death. Heavens, the way you used to yell at the super on 56th Street.
I never yelled at him.
You used to yell him to China and back.
I didn't. He had a very tough job. Well, I sympathize with that. He was right about a lot of things, and heat, too much heat, is very unhealthy for you. 60, 61 degrees is a sensible temperature.
Who is that,
Somebody for me, Mrs. Gage.
Matt? Okay, well, put on a coat before you go out, or you'll catch cold.
It ain't so bad out.
Herbert, I'm gonna fix dinner before I go to bed. I'm not feeling too well. Where did you put the groceries? Did you put them in the kitchen, or did you leave them in the car?
What groceries?
Darling, I wrote them on a list. I handed it to you.
I didn't take any list.
What's this?
I've been framed!
Well, I'm not very hungry, darling. Why don't you just take the children into the restaurant to eat?
If you don't mind being left alone,
Not at all. As long as you build a fire in the fireplace before you leave.
I'll do that right away.
Bundle up.
I'll get Paula to help me.
Evening, Mr. Gage.
Oh, Mrs. Rockwood. I wouldn't go out there if I were you.
Oh, I'm not going out. No, sir. Cold enough inside. Colder than this.
Mrs. Gage! Mrs. Gage!
Mother's taking some aspirin and going to bed, Matt.
Oh, she is?
Maybe it's something I can do?
I don't think so.
Well, what is it?
Your mother's sick, huh?
Oh, she feels dreadful. Can't you tell me, Matt?
It's Mrs. Gorley. Her time has come sooner than expected.
You mean she's gonna have her baby?
Yeah, and she's all alone, except for her 5 little ones. The biggest one was just here. He was crying. He's only 8.
Matt, where's her husband?
He's out of town. He ain't back yet.
We've gotta get a doctor.
Can't. Little Melville Gorley took a note from his mom to Mrs. Tuttle, but the Tuttles weren't home. He got in though. He used her phone. Old Doc Lippett's on the case, and he's the only doctor this side of Danbury.
We've gotta do something.
My mom, she ain't spry enough no more to get through them woods to the Gorleys, so I thought maybe your mother, but you say she's sick.
Oh, we mustn't tell Mother. She'd do it with her cold. It would mean pneumonia for her. If only Mrs. Tuttle were home.
Matt?
But if we had a car,
We do. You go back out of the garage and wait for me. And oh, goodness.
if you're afraid,
I'm not afraid. Hope it's a boy. Oh, we'll pack first aid kits, some towels, hot water, some sheets.
maybe we better leave it a note.
Jonathan! Oh, Jonathan!
Yeah, I'm coming.
Jonathan, when you get a minute, can you take the big box of oil lamps down to the cellar for me?
Yeah.
Can you leave the door open? Yeah, just like that to air out. It's warm in there.
Yeah. Ain't hot out here though. It's cold.
Oh,
Mighty cold.
sure is it? I measured them oil lamps this morning. The oil, and Uncle Walter, he said they've been having a famine of oil for the past 4 or 5 years. Pretty much empty.
That ain't the oil. There's plenty of it. Democrats down in Washington. Gonna punish New England for voting Republican.
Doesn't seem mighty Christian of you, Jonathan. You could help gauge a little bit.
If I weren't so stubborn, weren't so darn bull-headed to ask my advice, I could save them a lot of trouble. A lot.
Yes, you could.
I know I could.
You seen Matt?
I saw him around about an hour ago. He's around someplace.
How's the weather?
Peculiar. Something's coming. Don't know what, but something. Never seen a more ornery looking sky. And it's cold. Mighty cold.
Now, Paul, you get some paper and the matches.
Oh, all right.
What's eating you, Sarah?
Nothing. Nothing whatsoever.
Hurry up, Paula.
Oh, that's her.
Let me do it, Pop, please.
Not this time. You watch, just in case you ever have to do it when I'm not around.
Building a fire?
Yes, I'm building a fire.
Ever build a fire before?
Plenty of times.
Any fire you ever build ever burn?
This one will.
Is that wood you got there?
And this is the kind of wood you should use.
Gotta cut your wood in the summer so it'll dry out. Next spring
I wouldn't be making any plans about next spring if I were you. Chances are you won't be around.
that's so. Say, I haven't seen no law around lately. They go and get himself arrested and put in jail.
Rockwood, I don't know why you're so stubborn about this. I should think that you and your wife would be more comfortable in a little place of your own, where you wouldn't be bothered by us. What's so funny?
Well, I thought you used all your arguments up. Didn't think you could think up anymore.
Well, it's true. It must be terrible for you and the missus to have to endure a few noisy kids running in and out of the house every day.
But telling me like young folks keeps us young.
All right, but you don't like me. Think about how wonderful it would be not to have to see my face every day.
To tell you the truth, Gage, I ain't especially fond of you. You got some mighty queer and aggravating traits. But I figure you're young yet. Yep, Matilda and me would be glad to have you around 10, 15 years from now.
Rockwood, you get into that thick head of yours.
On second thought, like that 20, 25 years.
Hey, I'm here. Lo, the bridegroom coming.
George!
Goodness, it's George.
Say, you seem surprised to see me.
Well, we are.
I sent Barbara a telegram. I passed. Got my degree. Where's Barbara?
Oh, she's around here somewhere. Paula.
I'll find her.
You farmers. You didn't get my wire, did you? I thought I'd find this joint jumping Orange Blossom's bridesmaids. Hey, Barbara! Look, it's still all right, isn't it? I got a job in Philadelphia. It is all right if your daughter comes to Philadelphia with me. We can get married right away, can't we? You know you promised. Barbara promised. Even I promised.
There's going to be a wedding, George.
There's going to be a wedding. I'm going to get married.
Yes.
George, it's you! No, don't kiss me. I've got a cold. I don't want Barbara to catch it.
You didn't get my wire. I rented a car. It's outside. I got a room in the New Yorker for Barbara and me tonight. I got money saved and a job in Philadelphia. I've got everything. Where's Barbara?
She isn't up here, George.
Well, she isn't down here.
Sarah, do you know where Barbara is?
No, I have no idea whatsoever where she is. What are you all looking at me for? I don't know.
She knows something.
Yup.
Listen, Sarah. Barbara did get my wire, and she's pulling some kind of joke. She's going to surprise me somehow. Come on, tell me.
Sarah?
Tell George. Can't you see he's worried?
I won't spoil it. I promise to be surprised. I'll be astounded.
You'll be astounded, all right, but I won't tell you.
Hey, you want me to twist her wrist?
I'll do something worse than that. 1 second.
You can beat me to within an inch of my life, and my lips will remain sealed forever.
Sarah, this is the last time I'm...
You can torture me! Put me on the rack! Stick me to an anthill! But I shall never tell you!
Sarah!
Oh, Herbert, you'll only make her more stubborn. Sarah, you've never lied to your mother, have you?
No,
And you're never going to lie to me, are you?
as long as you remain honest with me, Mother, I shall remain honest with you. Hey, our car's gone!
Is it?
Did Barbara go someplace in the car?
Yes.
Sarah, enough of this nonsense.
Did she know I was coming? Did she go to meet me?
Answer me! Did Barbara go to meet me?
No! I don't care now! It's too late, and you can't stop that. By now, it's all over. And I know they'll be very, very happy together.
Sarah, who are you talking about? Who is with Sarah?
And you folks say, Matt, it's supper time.
Matt.
He ain't never late for supper.
No.
Did Barbara run away with Matt?
Yes.
What's that?
Did Barbara tell you she was going to marry Matt? How do you know about it?
I saw her sneak out with her suitcase. I saw them get in the car together and go away.
Are we jumping to conclusions?
Oh.
Maybe?
What else could it be?
Oh, Herbert.
I warned you about that guy. I warned you.
George, I promise I didn't even let her talk to him.
Yeah, you see what you did? It made him as attractive as the devil to her.
Of course, forbidden fruit.
You could have stopped him, Sarah.
I didn't want to stop them. I thought if they got married, it would solve everything around here. Matt would be Gabby's son-in-law.
Jonathan, is that what I think it is? Matt and our Barbara get married?
Same so.
Well, how about that? I always knew Matt would find himself a good girl to settle down with.
Don't know about that.
You don't know if Barbara is a good girl?
Seems to me Matt was lured into it.
Mr. Rosewood! Now,
much trouble at our account.
Yeah, you can come.
Someone probably tore down them wires.
Oh, Herbert, what are we gonna do?
They'll come back on in a minute, don't worry.
Never did hold with electricity. Failed you.
Look, there's a light in the Rockwood's room.
Yep, we don't use no modern improvements.
Here, Jonathan. Gages, you can borrow some of our lamps.
Oh, Mrs. Rockwood, that's so kind of you.
Too bad, Gage. Your electrical furnace won't work without electricity. And you, Marge, your stove won't work either. And your electric icebox and your electric sweeper. Say, Gage, too bad you didn't shave before the storm hit us. Hang on. Of course, there is one good thing. Thumbing won't freeze.
Oh, well, that's something.
No power for your pump. Won't be any water in the pipes to freeze.
No water?
Jonathan, when you get a chance, can you get into that big box for them pictures of Matt?
Nope, storm's about to hit us. I'm gonna go check on my livestock in the barn.
Oh, well, make sure they're plenty warm, because it's gonna freeze.
No, it is. Say, Gage, about Matt and Barbara, what's got to be has got to be. But I want one thing understood right here. I don't want no grandchildren running around here by the name of Herbert.
Marge, should I go down to the Simpsons and call the police? Maybe they can catch her before it's too late.
Well,
Don't do it for me. If she wants to marry that guy, well, she wants to marry that guy.
Oh, George, don't.
I'm going back to New York.
Oh, no, George, please.
Better get started. It's storming out.
But it looks like a blizzard, George. You might as well just stay overnight.
All right.
here's them baby pictures of Matt. Look, there he is when he was just 3 months old. What are you laughing at, Matty boy? Look at him laughing out. And there he is with his first
Then you make your entrance right at the climb. This was meant to be. Never thought I'd fall, but now I hear those calls. I'm getting sentimental over you. Just you, things you say and do, just thrill me through and through. I'm getting sentimental over you. I thought I was happy, I could live without love. Now I must admit love is all that I'm thinking of. Won't you please be calm? Just make up your mind to please be sweet and gentle. Be gentle with me, 'cause I'm getting sentimental over you. I thought I was happy, I could live without love. Now I must admit if love is all that I'm thinking of, won't you please be kind? Just make up your mind.
It's my turn now.
Wait a minute.
You act as if those were your bellows. Honestly, Paula.
Here, take them.
It's freezing in here.
Very.
Why don't we have heat?
Because you're not pumping hard enough.
It's me, okay? Where's Mother? Let's get breakfast.
Will we be able to make coffee on that fire?
Iced coffee? Maybe.
If only your father wasn't so... Oh, I'm sure Mr. Rockwood would give us some of those nice logs. If only he would ask for them. Where is your father?
Helping George dig out his car.
Well, breakfast will soon be ready, such as it is. Have you two washed your hands?
It's too cold to take our gloves off.
And there isn't any water. There isn't anything. Anything at all. Poor woman. Huh? She cried almost all last night. Couldn't you hear her?
No. Father kept me awake.
Crying?
No. Snoring. And I thought you snored loud.
Paula, rest in the window for your father and George. Sarah, don't bother with those bellows. It isn't any good.
I'm starving.
We all are, dear.
Mother,
Yes.
can't Barbara's marriage be annulled?
No, I don't think so. Let's not talk about it. Where's George?
Oh, he didn't want any breakfast. He wanted to get going. Should have brought a coat. Hey, what's that smell? It's the most wonderful smell in the world. It smells like coffee. How'd you make coffee? No wonder he's so bilious. Drinks coffee all the time.
It does smell good, doesn't it?
Marge?
Yes, Herbert. Sit down.
Shall I say grace?
For cornflakes and stuffed olives?
They aren't stuffed.
Marge, isn't there anything else?
I'm sorry, Herbert.
Well, I'll have some cornflakes. Somebody pass the milk?
This isn't milk, it's molasses. I thought on the cornflakes it might...
Marge, please.
Well...
So help me, Marge. If you say it's delicious, I'll strangle you.
I read a story once. Some miners were trapped in mine for 72 days. They ate coal.
Well, we don't have any coal.
Which is quicker? I mean, which will happen first? Will I freeze to death or starve to death?
Oh, darling.
Good morning, Uncle Jonathan.
Morning, Sarah.
What have you been doing out there?
Feeding them pigs. You should have seen them little rascals eat.
I wish I was pig.
I wish I were a pig. Sit down. Eat your olives.
I don't like olives.
If you don't eat your olives, you can't have any molasses.
I detest molasses. Sarah, I don't care. I think he's cruel, letting his wife and children die of starvation and exposure when there's food and plenty right in there.
If ever we accepted anything from them, if ever we became obligate to them, no, by heavens. Rockwood, do you have to keep barging in and out of here? Can't a man enjoy his breakfast in peace? What's that lawyer of yours doing? Nothing. I'm gonna fire that lawyer. Hire ourselves a crooked lawyer.
Herbert, the children! It's all my fault. I was the one who thought the Rockwoods were dead.
They'll outlive us.
And now, Barbara.
Mother, you and Father decided not to discuss Barbara in front of the children.
you to buy a head? Who begged you to buy the case?
I did buy a case.
A case of what?
Olives.
I've got it dug out enough, I think. Gee, it's cold in here.
You're telling me.
Well, the snowplows are making their way up the road, so I ought to be able to get out of here any minute now.
Oh, George, I do wish you'd tell us where you'll be.
I don't know where I'll be. Honest, I don't, Mrs. Gage.
Oh, George, I'm so sorry. I didn't think I could kill myself with pleasure.
Want to let my Girl Scout night?
Listen, Sarah.
I'm listening.
You could have stopped them by yelling. You wouldn't have stopped Barbara from wanting to marry him. Would you?
No.
No. See what I mean?
Her heart belongs to another.
Correct. And it could never belong to me.
Oh, I'll get it. No, let me.
Mrs. Gage? Mr. Gage? I'm the one who spoke to you on the phone last night. About your daughter. About to go someplace?
No. Carson, have you heard anything about Barbara?
Barbara. That's your daughter.
Of course.
I couldn't hear you very well on the phone last night. You know how it is. Saturday night about the jail, pretty noisy.
You haven't found Barbara yet, have you?
Well, not yet.
Not yet. Heaven knows where she is by now.
Or what's happened? Mrs. Carson, you can understand how anxious we are.
Mrs. Gage, if I may take the liberty, you know, I've seen a lot of elopements in my time. And 75% of them turned out for the best.
Carson, listen.
Now, I know how you feel. It's natural. You gotta look at it this way. You won't be losing a daughter. You'll be gaining a son.
But we already had Matt!
Mr. Gage, marriage is a serious business. And I would hate to see you and the missus make a mistake.
Carson, never mind. We'll go to the state police. They'll find her for me.
Oh no, I couldn't let you do that. If you really want your daughter back, I'm your woman. Is this a photo of Barbara?
Yes,
Do you mind if I borrow it? It might come in handy.
not at all.
Nice looking girl.
We think so.
You know, they'd make a real cute couple.
Carson.
All right. I don't want to keep you from your, breakfast.
Yes.
She didn't seem very efficient, did she?
You never know. Sometimes these small-town police surprise you.
Someone's knocking at the kitchen door. Maybe it's Barbara.
Oh, don't be silly, Marge. What would Barbara be doing at the back door?
Oh, it's only the little tremble boy. A telegram! A telegram! Barbara, I'm not anything! Oh, dear. Oh.
What's it say? Arriving today. Start ringing the wedding bells. George.
George, I don't know what to say.
It's all right. It's going to be all right. Let's not. So long, everybody.
Oh, George. Goodbye, George. Don't do anything desperate.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So long.
I had my heart set on that boy. He came here to get married, and he didn't even get a cup of coffee.
Will you stop talking about coffee?
Dad, how much do you weigh?
What?
I'm going to keep a record of our weights at the beginning and the end.
into your mouth.
Best I ever tasted.
Or you could have preserves on them.
Don't stay, Uncle Walter.
Nope, already had my breakfast.
Well, what'd you have?
Fried eggs, sausage, maple syrup, and coffee.
Uncle Walter, don't call that a breakfast for a man.
Nope, wasn't hungry. But I'll tell you what, a lot of people in this world ain't had that much to eat. Well, good morning.
Morning. Sorry you won't stay. Such a shame. All this good food going to waste.
Mother? Yes? I wonder if you would excuse me for a moment.
Where are you going?
I think I left my scarf with Aunt Matilda.
Sarah! Big Darnold!
You can't blame the child after all.
Marge?
Well, at least one of us will survive to talk to the newspaper man.
For heaven's sake, missing a meal never hurt anybody.
This wasn't just a meal. It was Sunday morning breakfast. And you could hardly call what we had last night dinner.
Getting too blame hot in here. You folks mind if I keep the door open?
Paula, come here. Oh, heavens. I can just feel the heat rolling in.
Oh, goodness, that does feel good.
I don't believe you can feel a thing.
Oh, yes, you can. Come over here and feel.
It's all in your imagination.
Paula, smell that fried ham.
That's bacon.
It's the fried ham that I smell.
Don't have that piano disturb you folks. I'll just close the door.
Marge? That piano does disturb us.
Herbert? I love you. Remember that. I love you.
Marge! Marge! You wouldn't desert your father, would you?
No, sir, I'll die first. Will you bury me under the big tree?
Don't get morbid.
I'm not morbid. I'm starving.
Sit down. Eat your olives. Sarah, go on without me.
No, we can't let ourselves get obligated.
Oh, Sarah, I had great plans for you. A journalist, an artist, maybe even the first woman president of our U.S. history.
First of all, Daddy, I'm not Sarah. Don't liken me to that traitor ever again. And lastly, I don't think my husband would let me be president.
They have 3 meals a day in the White House. It's warm in the White House.
No, sir.
Ah, Sarah, come on without me.
Well, Father, if you insist.
I do.
Mr. Gage, would you like a nice hot cup of coffee?
No, thank you. I just had my cornflakes.
still in bed. Oh, I'm so tired I can't see. Mrs. Tuttle charged in this morning. Thought I could kiss her.
You did kiss her.
Did? I was out on my feet.
She said you did a good job with it.
We did a good job, Nat.
No, it was you. All I did was hot water. Women sure have it tough.
Oh, I was scared to death, and I held that little thing up by its heels. I was afraid to hit it. It didn't seem fair. And then I did. It began to yell. Oh, when I get married, I'm going to deliver all my babies, every single one.
Mrs. Gorley says she's gonna name it after you.
But it's a boy.
Mrs. Gorley says she doesn't care.
We'll put a stop to that. We'll call him Matt.
Matthew Gorley.
Well, I'm going to bed. Don't think I can sleep, but I'm going to try.
Me too. Say, Barbara, you think your father would be mad about the car?
We'll go back this afternoon and dig it out. I hope Mrs. Tuttle keeps my baby covered.
Barbara, you think your father knows anybody that could give me a social security card?
Mrs. Rockwood, your strawberry preserves are wonderful. Simply wonderful.
I had bad luck with them this year.
Children! Children, how did you like the biscuits?
Oh, they're divine, Aunt Matilda. Divine.
Paula?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Mrs. Rockwood,
Yeah?
how do you keep your canned goods from exploding?
How do you get yours to explode?
It's easy. I'll show you. Oh, that's awfully nice of you, Mr. Rockwood.
I ain't done nothing yet.
I don't know what it is about Herbert. Where there's smoke, there's supposed to be fire. But not Herbert's smoke.
Rockwood, I've been thinking. Do you think we have enough room in that barn for 6 more pigs?
Plenty of room.
What do you think about a bull?
Bulls can be mean. Never did like to bull around with their children.
Rockwood, I just wondering, with the electricity being out and everything, could I use your,
Know what's on your mind. Go right ahead.
thanks.
How's your family make such a mess all the time?
He's an awfully good-looking man, wasn't he?
Wouldn't go so far as to say that.
Mr. Rockwood, I'm sorry the way things have been. But when people are crowded together like we've been, well, there's bound to be some misunderstandings. And I understand that you love this house. We love it too. But we've spent thousands of dollars fixing this place up, and we couldn't afford to leave it, even if we wanted to.
How much it cost you to spoil this house?
Nearly $8,000.
8,000. Take pretty near that much to get this house back in shape again.
But we like the way it is.
Different folks have different tastes, Jonathan.
That ain't a matter of taste. It's all these modern inconveniences.
Well, some of them are mighty practical.
Mighty few. Maybe indoor plumbing, but ain't too expensive. And that reminds me, I like to put a word in for the barn before you get in your head to do any improving out there.
Well, what are you thinking, Jonathan?
I'm thinking the barn. Yeah, that'd be a good place for us to live.
Folks don't live in barns, Jonathan.
Don't they? Ferguson rebuild it while remodeling the barn. I done such a good job, they're stealing it. They like it. While them old stone barns was built better than houses. And our barn, it's older than the Fergusons.
It is?
Yep, heard her grandpop say so many a time. Oldest building in this part of the state. It was put up 40 years before the house was. First house burned down.
You mean our barn is older than this house?
Yep, and it's comfortable in the winter and cool in the summer.
Do whatever you decide, Jonathan.
Can't
You're the
dig.
man of the house.
Can't dig in the cellar till the ground softens. Too cold out. Way too cold.
You should really wear a coat when you go outside. You know, Rockwood, I've had some more time to think.
And you have.
And, I was thinking, if I got one of those deluxe hand cultivators, then next spring we can make your garden twice as big as it is now. And we can make my garden into a tennis court.
Yours would make a good tennis court.
Herbert, did you know that our barn is the oldest building in Connecticut?
Really?
Yes, it's 40 years older than this house.
Charming.
Yes, it would be charming. Just think of the possibilities. Oh, it would be lovely. You know, we could have a studio living room and the 2-story with a balcony leading up. Our bedrooms could be leading off, where the hay mow is now. And then we could...
Mark, our bedrooms? What are you talking about?
Yeah, wait a second. It's me and Matilda.
I'm sorry, Mr. Rockwood. There simply would not be enough room. It would be too crowded.
Marge, you're serious about it. It'll be rational.
I am. Just think. Barbara wouldn't have to share a room with Paula and... Barbara!
Oh, Marge, don't start.
What do you think about Barbara and Max getting married? Really, I mean.
I don't approve of this intermarriage business.
Intermarriage? What do you mean by that?
Democrats should marry Democrats.
I don't want to discuss politics with you.
Good morning, everybody.
Barbara!
Good morning, Mother.
Barbara! Are you and Matt married?
Married? Don't be silly. Matt, tell them, are we married?
Married? No. What? Of course not!
Matt, nice to see you!
Nice to see me!
Barbara! What happened?
Thought you knew. Last night, Mrs. Gorley's baby came sooner than expected, and I helped deliver it.
Oh, Barbara, you should have told me about Mrs. Gorley. Oh, George! Poor George!
Mother, what about George?
Well, he just got out of college. He was here. But when he had heard that you and Matt had eloped, he...
Eloped? How could he think that? How could he?
Well, there was nothing else to think.
Mother, where is George?
He's gone.
Marge, the car! We can catch him on the parkway!
Our car's making Gorley. Stop! Oh, Mother!
Oh, no.
Well, folks, good morning again.
You!
Yes, I run into something. I think I got a clue as to your daughter's whereabouts.
Really? Congratulations!
Is this your daughter?
That's our daughter right there!
Say, I've been looking all over for you.
Where did you get this picture? This isn't the picture that we gave you.
Well, I'll tell you. I stopped back at headquarters after I left here, and one of the boys there had a fellow that he picked up for reckless driving. Among that fellow's credentials, I found this photo of Matt Rockwood's wife. Naturally, I got suspicious.
George! I gave this picture
I've been thinking, Rockwood. Maybe if your wife could give up playing the piano, I could stop yelling and...
What's there?
Sarah!
John, I got some news for you. Yeah? Mrs. Gola had a baby. She ain't expecting no more.
More than anything, I know that we could do all kinds of work, but if the Lord didn't bless, we wouldn't be able to put on a production. So I really don't deserve any gratitude, but I am thankful for them, very thankful. And I'm thankful for you. I hope you enjoyed this evening.